Hello, everyone. My name is Dru Balsley. I was asked to talk a little bit about self-care and yoga. There's just so much going on in the world right now. And it's important that people be knowledgeable about self-care and yoga. I'm a yoga instructor, and I'm also a mental health counselor. So quite often I merge the two disciplines. Yoga can help with stress and stress management. Stress is an everyday thing. It's normal. We have things to try to remember. We have to get ready for work on time. We have to remember to book our appointments. We might have to study for something. It's very common. And a lot of people are noticing now with COVID-19, the stress has really increased. We have so much that we're concerned about. And it's hard to cope. But yoga is one way. And a lot of people are finding it helpful. Back to stress for a minute. A lot of people don't realize the impact that it can have on your body. Stress can lead to a lot of discomfort. It triggers some hormone imbalances in your body from tensing up and relaxing. You could end up having some chronic illnesses because of stress. Headaches, stomach problems. So many illnesses are related to stress. And honestly, if you wanted to look up the causes of stress in your computer, you would see that there are multiple causes. It could be, and it affects your family, it affects your relationship. Maybe just from, if you go to work from home and you've had some sort of a disagreement or a tense moment, that can affect how your interactions at work go. So it's very important to think about yoga in terms of managing stress. A lot of us don't breathe deeply enough, and yoga can help you to have more expansive breaths. Stress sometimes tenses up your body, your shoulders come in. If you're working at a computer, your head is leaning forward, and more people are now working online and on Zoom. And so they're having neck problems, shoulder problems, and headaches. Yoga is something that can help you cope and release some of that tension. I use it with my students and clients, and I find that in some cases I might just focus on breathing. In other situations, I'll focus on mindfulness. And mindfulness is an excellent way of managing stress because we tend to worry about what happened last year, this year, next year. We worry about time and we're not in the present moment. I'm going to show you a few things that are helpful with managing stress. A big stressor is time. Like I said, worrying about tomorrow or the next day. So let's start with mindfulness. You can just take a moment to quickly just notice where you are, how you're feeling. Are you in a chair? Are you on the floor? Notice how you feel and where you are. Your connection to the earth. Notice if you smell anything. Maybe somebody's cooking. Maybe there's some smoking next door. Maybe you might feel a breeze, or you notice that it's warm or cold. You can try to sense what you're feeling on your skin. Maybe you can hear some sounds. Maybe you hear music, or you hear cars going by. You hear animals, or maybe it's completely silent. What do you see when you look around? Do you see lights, bright lights, dim lights? Is there a window? Do you see what's going on outside? It's important to notice what's going on in your environment right now and to be present. That's the value of this practice. If you're worried about something else, you're not present. So this is your time to be present. A lot of us are hunched over a computer throughout the day, and look how my shoulders are. It happens, and we have to remind ourselves what to do. First of all, sit up straight and put your shoulders back. Notice how your back is curved, and you want to keep it straight, and even put your shoulders further back. You can do this sitting down on your chair, as long as your shoulders are open, or you might prefer to stand and just move the chair out of the way. So here's how it looks when you're standing. I suggest that you hold your arms like this, bent and to the side, and pull your shoulders back. Here's another one for your back. It feels so good. You can really feel the stretch. And a nice benefit is that you're also stretching your legs. You can either have your legs straight or bent. It's still a good stretch. This is one you should do with a chair. You bend your leg, and let me just show you what this looks like. Cross your ankle over the top of your knee. It's not exactly the tree pose. It's a modification of that. And this stretches your hip and your sides. We don't do that enough. So this opens up your hip flexors. Now you can do this in a chair, and I'll demonstrate that. A lot of people prefer not to stand, and that's okay. So you just cross your ankle over your knee, just like this. Yoga is always a little tricky to film. And then put a little bit of pressure on that knee, or maybe lift up your foot. Another way to deepen the stretch is to bend forward. I love doing this. You might like it or you might not find it particularly useful. That's okay. That's part of your research, is to see what works for your body. Again, if you're sitting at a computer all day long, you might find this to be an excellent stretch. And it's important to do the other side as well. Yoga can be as slow or as fast as you want. You'll see different videos online. You'll see pictures of yoga poses online. Find the ones that suit you best. Again, having our shoulders hunched forward often compresses our stomach as well. So to open up your stomach and your sides, grab the back of your chair and twist like I'm doing here. One arm is down, one arm is holding onto the back of a chair. And to do it for 2 or 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, just switch to the other side. I do this every day, several times when I'm at the computer. It's probably one of my favorites. This one I like to do standing, although you can do it sitting. Lean as far as you can to one side, and then go over to the other side. You'll feel the stretch along your sides, and at the same time, your back is getting a good stretch. You can do it for as long or as short as you want. And also try it with your head back. That'll stretch out your abdominal muscles, which we don't do often enough. And it's a great stretch. So those are a few things that I find helpful when I'm sitting in a chair all day long. One thing that I really find to be beneficial is going for a walk. Even if you're not going far, it's so good for you because yoga is not something that you just do on the mat. You can do it off the mat. So grab a moment to notice your breathing. Sometimes we overlook that we're taking shallow breaths, and just take a couple of really good deep breaths because that's something that's in your control, and you'll be surprised at how beneficial it is for stress and for self-care. Simply breathing. Anytime you move, you want to sync that with your breath. So if you lift up your arm, make sure that you're inhaling. If you lower it, make sure that you're exhaling. You can find tips on the computer, and you want to find a good balance for yourself. You might, I would recommend, try these stretches every, say, 5 minutes every hour. So there's just no way you could sit at the computer for 8 hours a day. Your body is simply not designed for that. And I know you're on in the virtual world and you're on Zoom and in meetings, but take an opportunity every hour. And you don't need to go to a gym. All you need is a mat or a rug, even a chair. And you can do these stretches, and they'll make a big difference. So I hope these tips are helpful to you. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes with me. Take care, and bye-bye.